On? Yeah, okay, now we're on.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jimmy Faluca, reporting with a couple of my buddies tonight, with Frank as usual, but tonight we have two special guests, Mr. Jay Lewis and Mr. Henry. Gentlemen, welcome.
What's up?
Thank you for having me.
No, of course, you guys are always welcome on. We got a lot to discuss, fellas. Money in the Bank has come and gone, and as the surprise would be, we had not one, but two new WWE World Heavyweight Champions. Seth Rollins, based on what I saw, beat Roman Reigns 100% clean. And then Dean Ambrose, who had won Money in the Bank earlier in the night, cashed in, and he's the champ. Frank, what do you have to say about that?
First of all, I disagree 100% with you that it was clean. Seth Rollins did not beat Roman Reigns clean. He kicked out of everything, and then, of course, they added that spot with him when he crashed through the barricade. Remember that? And he had the medical.
I remember that, but it wasn't illegal.
Yeah, but still, that's an excuse. That's why they added that in there.
They didn't use it as an excuse like they do with Cena.
Yeah, but still, clean. In my opinion, clean is you have the match. That's like he was so hurt they had to they had to attend to him, and he's shoving them off because he's so strong. Then he gets in there and he loses. I don't know, but I guess all that now is a moot point.
Based on what I saw, it was a clean victory. Now, Henry, what do you have to say about that?
All right, we gotta be fair. All right, yeah, I enjoyed Money in the Bank. I enjoyed that Dean Ambrose won, but there's a but. I didn't like the way he won it. All right, I didn't want him to cash in his briefcase because Rollins had that pop when he beat Roman Reigns. Everybody was cheering for him. And then Dean Ambrose comes in, and he doesn't allow him to get that pop that he deserves because nobody likes Roman Reigns. And I was telling Eric, I was telling everybody, like, hey guys, look, listen to this. And so why did he do it like right now, at this very moment? Is there something behind closed doors, or back doors that we don't know about? Because this happened too fast. And then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, Roman Reigns gets suspended for some apparent reason, and like everything here just like it sounds fishy, you know.
Yep. Well,
but I'm happy that Dean Ambrose won. I'm happy Rollins pinned. I'm sorry. I'm happy that Rollins pinned Roman Reigns clean, and let's just move forward and see what happens in the future.
So you
All
say,
right, Jay, what do you have to say?
To be totally honest, that Seth Rollins win came as a huge surprise to me. I didn't see it coming at all, and usually I like that type of writing, to see something just come right out of nowhere. And I think he did beat him 100% clean. It was no underhanded tactics with it. I can see what Frank is saying though. I understand what he's saying 100%, but I still think it goes into the clean win category. But I think this all led to could have possibly led to Roman Reigns winning. Losing with the suspension that just came out. But you guys also got to understand. I know we'll get to it later, but you got to understand. They did make a triple threat at Battleground. So did they know? Yeah, did they know about his suspension before or after? So I'm thinking it was after they made the whole Battleground thing or whatever. But yeah, that's my whole take on it.
Now I'm going to add a little something. To me, and maybe we could discuss this later at another time. To me, a clean victory means you two walk into the match. There's no pre-existing excuses like when Cena fought Bryan. He had the pre-existing excuse with his elbow. There was none of that here. There was no outside interference. Rollins didn't cheat or use any underhanded tactics whatsoever. What happened within the confines of the match was clean.
So why did they? So why did they? Why did they put that in there? Why did they put that in there then?
I don't know.
Well, of course, to protect him. If I'm a Roman Reigns fan, I'm going to say, oh, well, he got hurt. He had a concussion.
Yeah, but you want to know
The
something?
match should have stopped. I'm just being devil's advocate.
No,
Like,
I understand that you're being devil's advocate, but what I'm saying is, in that scenario, did Rollins do anything against the rules? No, he moved his ass out of the way like
I
anybody
know,
else would.
but why put that in the match?
Because what it did was it created an injury that Rollins capitalized on. That's not unclean. That's part of the match. It's like, okay, The Undertaker. He wrestled Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. He did old school. Taker jumped off the top rope and then his leg was bothering him. Does that, if Shawn Michaels, just for the sake of argument, would have won that match and Taker's leg was a component of that, does that mean Shawn Michaels' victory wasn't clean? Of course it was. It was the Undertaker's own actions that caused the knee injury. Just like what Roman Reigns did, he fucked himself. So it is a clean victory. Now, Frank, I never give WWE any leeway to fuck with the audience. That night, for whatever the reason, they did the right thing in the main event. And what I posted on Facebook, I'll reiterate. They proved that when they want to do things the right way, they get it 100% right. And to answer Henry, the reason it was so perfect for Dean Ambrose to cash in the way he did, if you're going to do this angle the right way, do you see the dissension that immediately was made between him and Reigns? You don't think the Roman Reigns character, especially with the way he was bad-mouthing the crowd last night, you don't think the You don't think the Roman Reigns character was pissed that somebody else had the belt that he had to kill himself to get? Of course he is.
I don't know. He gave love to Dean Ambrose last night. He wasn't mad at Dean Ambrose.
But I'm sorry, Frankie, but I have a problem with this. I have a problem. This is my problem. All right. AJ faced Roman Reigns 3 times, and Roman beats him 3 times. Seth Rollins comes in. Was it twice?
Okay.
Yeah, it was twice. It was twice. It was Payback and Extreme.
Right, twice, right? Seth Rollins comes in and beats Roman like small potatoes.
I don't know if it was small.
So that makes AJ looks bad. I was like, wait a minute. But so Rollins could beat Roman Reigns after AJ's taking fucking chair shots at him, and fucking Rollins comes in and does the fucking pedigree on him and done. But that's the only thing I didn't like.
I thought that same thing.
Well, I didn't like that. As an AJ fan, I didn't like that. But that's just me.
Well, listen, as an AJ Styles fan, I didn't like the feud that he was in recently, and now we'll get to that lump of shit.
God.
Well, hold on.
I don't want to fucking talk about this.
Hold on. Let's answer
Let me explain something to you guys. You know I love you guys to death. You guys are like family. I talk to you guys almost every day. I talk to you guys more than I talk to some relatives, and for that I'm very appreciative. I appreciate the friendship. But now is where I have to call a spade a motherfucking spade.
Wait, hold on, James, hold on. Let's answer the question. Do you think that Vince pulled the plug on Roman?
No.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, I think he did.
Why do this? Why do this? Why take the belt off of him?
Because they knew going into Money in the Bank that he was suspended. That's what I believe.
But why set up the match last night?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because by the time they get to Battleground, 30 days will have passed.
You think so? Will it be? So that's Battleground is what? When is Battleground?
5 weeks from now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Frankie, they were playing stupid. Frankie. They were like, "Oh my God, we didn't know about this."
Yeah,
They were playing along. They were playing stupid.
They knew what they were doing. They're not like you said, Frank. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing. They're just that vindictive.
Okay, so does Roman regain the belt?
He's going to.
Oh hell no! Fuck no.
Well,
for me, no.
Best case scenario, he regains the belt as a heel. Worst scenario, he regains it as a face, and we go back to the status quo.
The only way it'll work is if he goes heel and wins.
What I would
only way.
Honestly, play off that he's not there. Don't fucking make it a three-way because I think to blow off the three-way at a B-level pay-per-view is such a disservice to the match. I'd have it just be Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, have Ambrose go over Rollins, then fucking Roman Reigns comes out after Rollins tries to attack him from behind, whatever the fuck. Roman looks like he's trying to help up Ambrose. Not only does he fucking knock him on his ass, he beats the shit out of Seth Rollins, lays Seth Rollins on the announcer's table, and power bombs Dean Ambrose on top of him. He's an instant heel heat.
Let's ask these guys, do you think he's already a heel for what he said last night?
He's begun his journey.
There were moments.
For those
let me ask you a question. Do you think he went off script? Or do you think they told him to do that?
I think they told him to do that because he wouldn't have. He's been in front of worse crowds.
Well, but how would he know if they're going to chant, "You can't wrestle"?
Because they know he's hated. Like you said, Frank. They know this motherfucker is hated. And I feel very... Listen, speaking as probably the only Roman Reigns fan here, because I like the guy, I feel that he's been miscast. I agree with Jim Ross. He's in the wrong role. He should be a villain. It's that simple.
Let's ask these guys. Do you think he went off script last night, or did they tell him, if you're getting flack from the audience, say something back? Henry, Jay, whoever.
What was the question again?
It was funny. It was really funny.
Hold on.
You know what was funny? It was funny that he targeted the guys.
Yeah, he always targets the guys.
You dudes, sit back down and drink your beers, right? So it was scripted, and I like it. I like when I hear that. You know?
A few months ago,
and he just stayed with it.
Yeah, a few months ago in an interview, he said only guys who are disappointed in their lives boo him. Remember that?
I remember that line, and I'm like, dude, when he says stuff like that outside the ring, I'm like, dude, you make it very difficult for me to defend you, because that's some arrogance. Yeah, that's something I expect out of a heel.
Yeah, but is that him talking, or is that what they told him to say?
Oh, that's absolutely the company talking. It's like, what's his name on Wrestling Soup? Joey Numbers used this line the night of WrestleMania. He's like, because what's his name? Kevin Castle just, he loves Roman Reigns. Roman can do no wrong. Joey Numbers turns around and says, oh, I'm sure that there's people backstage saying, it's okay, Roman. It doesn't matter that the people boo you. It's for the kids. It's all about the kids. It doesn't matter about the people that pay thousands of dollars to come to WrestleMania. It doesn't matter. It's for the kids.
Right. Because I always say, doesn't he go backstage and get pissed off and say, what's going on? How come, I'm getting booed?
If he's got a fucking heart and a soul, I'm sure he does. It did with The Rock.
Jay, what do you think?
Hey, I think it gets to her. I really do. You could just tell. You could tell in his body language when something gets to a person. It really bothers Roman, man.
Of course it does.
And
it's not his fault.
But why does it bother him? Because he's cast in the wrong role. If he was cast as a bad guy,
Austin said Austin has said it. How many people have to admit it? Now let's get to this other. Now listen, we've got with the Roman Reigns thing. Now let's get to this steaming pile of shit, so that way we can move on. I told you guys from the beginning, and this goes to everyone that I've spoken to on this, and I hope that this part of the video gets the most buzz. I told you guys that the John Cena AJ Styles feud was going to ultimately be what the John Cena Kevin Owens rivalry was, what the John Cena Wyatt family rivalry was, what the John Cena Nexus rivalry was, a complete and utter waste of time. Because guess what? Is AJ Styles better off after this match? No. He has the same credibility he had going into it. Zero. And we all know that when you get a bullshit victory on John Cena, you lose, then you lose, then you lose again.
Oh, but James, he should be lucky. He's so lucky. He should be. He
should be lucky. He's in the ring with a future Hall of Famer.
Like Michael Cole said, the greatest of all time.
Yeah, Michael Cole's calling John Cena the greatest of all time. Really? I didn't see Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring, because as far as I'm concerned, the only two guys that can call themselves the greatest of all time overall is Stone Cold or Hulk Hogan. Because I can tell you this with all confidence. John Cena can't draw like fucking Hulk Hogan. There ain't no fucking way. Number one. Number two, he ain't selling T-shirts like Stone Cold Steve Austin is. Are you out of your...
James, before we go on, I just want everybody who's watching this to be clear. All right? We don't hate John Cena. We don't hate him.
Do.
He's a nice guy. No, we don't hate him. We just hate what he does.
I do.
Politics and wrestling. We don't like that. If you put over guys clean, then we'll be fine. But he doesn't do that. Why? Because he only thinks about himself. And that's why we don't cheer for him. That's why we keep saying and chanting, Cena sucks.
He's definitely...
And that's it. And his gimmick is tiresome. He needs to transform to something new. And that's why we don't like him. He stays to stay relevant in the company. That's why we don't like him.
And I don't want to hear this garbage.
I don't want to hear this personal about his private life. That's the only reason why we don't like him. That's it.
I don't want to hear this garbage. That match was not great last night.
The match sucked.
No. And listen, did you hear him calling the spots?
I had my fucking headphones on.
Body slam.
Which match y'all talking about?
The AJ Styles John Cena match. It wasn't any good.
He was calling spots all over.
You know what? You know what? I didn't. My network was messing up Sunday,
he had a microphone.
and I haven't watched that match over again. I'm gonna watch it later. But if you guys,
Pele kick.
Listen. Huh?
What?
What you say?
Go ahead, Jay. We're listening.
Oh, I was saying that if you guys pay attention to all of John Cena's matches, pretty much, he does that a lot. He calls out a lot of the spots.
Oh, but wait a minute.
He doesn't know what he's doing,
Jay,
and then he botches a whole bunch of moves, man.
Jay, that's because now they have HD cameras now. But how come everybody else doesn't do it all the time?
You know what's
exactly.
Most of you guys, let me ask you guys a question real quick, a yes or no answer. Do you guys regard Bret Hart as a all-time great?
Yeah, but he's another one.
That's what I'm saying, Frank. Let me get to it. It's a simple yes or no question to you guys. Is Bret Hart an all-time great?
Of course he is.
Yes.
He might be the best wrestler of all time.
All right, Jay, do you consider Bret Hart an all-time great?
I get kind of ridiculed for this. I love Bret Hart, but I think he's a bit overrated. But
no,
yeah, I'll say he's a.
Do you consider Bret Hart?
I'll say he's overtime great.
But do you consider Bret Hart one of the greatest wrestlers of all time? One of, not the greatest. One of.
Top 10, yeah. And
Well, according to Bret the Hitman Hart, if you can't deliver a proper punch and if you're calling out your spots, you're unprofessional. Well, then guess what that means, motherfuckers? John Cena's unprofessional. I've been
but then he comes out and he says he would if he was still wrestling, he would love to wrestle John Cena. So I don't know why.
Yeah, so I'd love to see Bret Hart wrestle John Cena so I could watch Bret Hart embarrass him. Because that's what I saw. I saw AJ Styles out-wrestle John Cena for the entirety of that match. And I'm going to put something to you, Henry. He could put over every single young wrestler on the roster. I would still hate his guts.
Hold on,
I got news for you guys. A man that could...
James, Cena should be part-time.
He should be no time. I want to fucking see him.
Hold on, Henry, did you catch that garbage?
James, that's the hating you.
Hold on.
Because I got news for you guys. Hang on, Henry. A guy that can use... A guy that uses children and troops to get himself over, I have no respect for as a person or a professional. Did Stone Cold Steve Austin ever have to use philanthropy to get himself over? No, his character was good enough. Did The Undertaker ever have to use philanthropy to get himself over? Of course not, because his character was good enough. Mick Foley was another guy that, guess what? He never, ever once had to use his charity work to get himself over. But this motherfucker has to. A year and a half ago, they did a poll on WWE.com. What do you like the most about John Cena? His wrestling ability didn't get a high score. His character didn't get a high score. You know what got the highest? His charity work.
Yeah, because he's a hero, my ass. No, hold on.
politician. I hate his guts.
Henry, did you catch that garbage? Henry, did you catch that garbage he was doing at the beginning of the match with AJ?
Yeah, I see the whole thing. Look,
You know, but hold on. He was pretending he was clumsy. He was too slow. He was
He was garbage. He was terrible. He was
No,
awful.
he was doing that on purpose. He was doing that on purpose.
Because he knows people knows that he's garbage.
All I'm saying is that you have to compromise because Cena's here to stay. He's not going anywhere. So what you can do right now with him is tell him, hey Cena, you gotta do things right. You gotta put over guys.
It's too late for that.
Because he's gonna be irrelevant. In the new era, there's no space for him. He sucks. You can't put him with remember they were gonna put him in with Nakamura at Dash at the Beach? I was like, what the fuck was that? That's a disgrace. They're like,
notice he has to wrestle. He has to wrestle all the top stars.
Don't give him John Cena. What is he gonna do? Nakamura's gonna basically carry that whole match.
Hey, guys.
But that's all I gotta say about Cena. Part-time, put guys over the right way, and that's it. And go away.
Hey, Cena is nothing really but a new era Hulk Hogan that's not likable. Like, every feud Hulk Hogan was in back in the day, you knew the outcome of it. You knew Hogan was win over Macho Man, over Andre the Giant, over all these guys.
Yeah, and people got sick of it. People got sick of it.
I think people got sick of that, but they didn't get sick of Hogan. Hogan is still loved to this day, no matter what he's done.
Right.
I can't say the same about Cena because every time Hogan come out, whether the people know he's going to win or not, they still cheer Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
What did Hulk Hogan do?
Exactly. Hogan eventually saw when it was time to stop using the red and yellow colors. He knew when it was time. He knew when it was time to reinvent himself, and that's something that's something that John Felix Anthony Cena has failed to do. Now, I don't know if it ever occurred to anyone. Did it ever occur to anyone that maybe the fans would be more tolerable of this guy if he had a drastic character change? Not everybody is The Undertaker, who can be the same character for 25 years and the fans still love him. Not everyone's Mark Calloway. If there were, the business would be incredible. But he's not. And that's where I'm going to end my part in this. For all you guys that were excited about the whole AJ Styles, John Cena feud, well, guess what? You fuckers deserve exactly what you're going to get. Because Cena's got that golden shovel sharpened, and he's going to stick it up AJ Styles' ass. And then, when he fades into the background, like every fucking body else that faces John Felix Anthony Cena, you will have nothing but yourselves to blame.
Who saw the Stone Cold podcast last night with AJ?
I saw it. I just finished watching it.
And what did Stone Cold keep saying all the time? AJ, I like you. You're a good guy, but be careful. He said this about 6 times. These are shark-infested waters. These are shark-infested waters. Who do you think he was talking about? What do you think he was talking about?
Vince and the whole creative team, Don, everybody who's involved and making the choices. Who's going to go over it?
He was talking about fuckboy Buckethead.
He said it 6 times. He said it 6 times. I like you. You're a good guy, but be careful. These are shark-infested waters.
He was talking about that machine, man.
Who? The politics?
That's pretty much it.
He's talking about Cena and the politics. He was talking about both.
Who plays politics?
Before we end this segment, the next one. Before we go on, Joe, Nick, I defended Cena on my own part, in my own opinion, but I still think he's trash.
How did you defend Cena? How did you defend Cena?
I don't know. My sick, twisted way. I don't know. Look at the good point of my opinion. I don't know. Pick one.
And to end this segment, I say the one good thing that I will say about John Cena. There is one good thing about John Cena's career. It will eventually end. Moving on.
Not for a long time. You're going to see him come back for WrestleManias for 10 years.
He's part of the company.
Long as I don't got to see him wrestle.
He will be. He's going to wrestle.
Like he did with Bray Wyatt. That was the straw that broke the camel's back for me.
You got to realize.
Yeah, there. They dropped
the Wyatt. Yeah, but the Wyatts more so. Because who did they feed to the Wyatts? They fed Daniel Bryan, who was the most over guy in the company in the last decade. They fed him the Shield.
Yeah, now they're gonna feed him the Bullet Club. Now they're gonna feed him the Bullet Club.
I mean,
You
so
sure?
let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. The Wyatts can destroy Daniel Bryan. Bray Wyatt can beat him on his own. The same Daniel Bryan, oh, by the way, who beat John Cena at SummerSlam. Breakfast Killer. Breakfast Club Killer. The same Bray Wyatt that led the Wyatt family into a war with the Shield and beat them 100% clean.
Yeah, but that was because they were building him up for John Cena.
But that's the whole point. These guys were beating the greatest trio in years. And 3 of those guys couldn't beat that fucking piece of shit cancer that he is.
Well, just like last night. You saw what he did to Carl Anderson, right? And
I gotta say this about the Wyatt family, all right? I think it's time for them to turn babyface. Their heel moments is done. They gotta move on. They gotta be the good guys, and they gotta get their cheers.
They were about to turn babyface.
And why do they keep them heel? I don't know.
No, they were about to turn on babyface, but then remember what they did? They put Bray Wyatt with Roman Reigns to get Roman Reigns cheers.
And it didn't work. Now let's move on to
What about Jay? James. Be funny thing, Jay. What do you think about the Wyatt family? We want to hear your input.
The Wyatts, as far as what?
Do you think they should stay heel or they should turn babyface?
I think they should be babyface / vigilante type. You know what I'm saying? Really no clear cut going after the good guy, going after the bad guy. Just anybody goes.
And
like I said,
what I personally think about the Wyatt family, I honestly believe that the Wyatt family should have went after the club.
I agree.
AJ should put over Bray the right way, the way he put over Roman and Miz, and the matches they had with Jericho. And that's the only way you see Bray come out with like a big.
See, that's where I wouldn't have a problem. That's where what Henry just said is spot on. Now, if AJ Styles was putting over guys like a Bray Wyatt,
yeah, but AJ Styles is not in a position to put over guys.
What?
He's not.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. He's a 20-year veteran.
Not in WWE. Yeah. He has one win. He has one win in WWE.
People know who AJ Styles
by him
is.
losing, he's putting him over.
I can't hear you.
What we're saying is, if he was putting over guys that would benefit from it, we'd have no problem with it. That's what I'm saying.
So then why do you get mad? Why do you get mad when he puts Roman Reigns over then?
Because Roman Reigns isn't over. If Roman Reigns was a heel and AJ Styles was losing to him, I'd have no problem with it. Because it would serve a purpose. You're putting heat on a heel who's hated. But instead, they were forcing it on a babyface who isn't over. Now, if Reigns was a heel, I'd have no problem with it. Because his character would...
Frankie, look, time is ticking. Time is ticking. And AJ's not going to be there forever. So you have to put him with wrestlers that has a good future so he could put them over.
Right. See? First you got to build up AJ. You got to build.
But I see what Frank.
You ain't got to build up AJ.
No, but I understand what Frank is saying is that he needs to build up his credibility in the WWE.
For what?
Because what Frank is trying to say is, when you come in the WWE, you have to operate. They operate under the mindset that what you did before didn't happen, even though everyone knows that it did. It's a fucked up mindset. But what Frank is saying, and I agree with it, is that if AJ is going to put over these guys like Reigns, like Wyatt, Cesaro, which I don't think any of us would have a problem with, because
Henry, don't you hear the promos? Are you when they say AJ, are you as good as you say you are, or are you a bust in the WWE?
But that's the whole thing. Look, you gotta understand this, Frankie. Frankie, look, listen to this.
Listen, I know AJ is a superstar.
No,
but in the WWE universe, they're presenting him as.
He's a superstar. You have to understand that WWE was a pile of shit, bro. From now, since what, 2011 with John Cena, there was nobody credible. And then we had John Cena doing those Monday night U.S. title matches, and then everybody was like, oh, look, this and that. And James was right. He was like, as soon as Cena loses that title, that's it. The U.S. title is going to be nothing. So then you have AJ coming in who has that credibility that people already know, and people want him to put guys over because he knows that WWE is such a disgrace. They're not willing to do it because AJ, he's not selfish.
Henry, that's us. That's us. Hardcore wrestling fans.
Moments and succeeding. That's
that's
what's
us.
so great about AJ. He's not selfish. So AJ comes in and like, you guys, I'm popular in the world, not in the U.S. I'm more popular than everybody in this roster. If you want, I could come in, I could put these guys over, and I can make them shine. I can lose. I'm bulletproof. I can't be touched. But I can make the matches look good because I have this skill of cinematography that's so great. I'm gonna put you guys over. But he has to put over the right guys, not guys that can't be put over, like Roman Reigns and The Miz. Come on, get out of here. Give him Bray, give him Rollins, give him Cesaro, give him Sammy, give him people that need to take that position and put them over. But don't give him trash wrestlers like the ones that I just suggested. Go ahead, Jay.
Jay, go ahead.
I didn't hear the question. What was the question?
What we're debating is whether it's okay for AJ Styles to put over guys that have a bright future as opposed to putting over guys in which it's a total waste of time.
I think AJ, as you kind of heard in the podcast yesterday, how he kept, saying how he really wanted to, like, kind of prove himself and stuff like that. And like Henry just said, you know what I'm saying, he's been all over the world. Everybody knows who AJ is, man. They know his worth in the company. I don't think the fans are oblivious to who he is and what he can do. So I don't think it's an issue with him putting over. That's why I wasn't pissed when he lost to Kevin Owens a couple weeks ago. I wasn't mad about that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really even too mad about him losing to Roman like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew what he was trying to do for Roman, even though it didn't help Roman. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with him feuding with Cena and losing this feud with Cena.
It was a waste.
It's a waste of time. I agree with you, James. It is a complete waste of time because if Cena beats AJ, what does he win?
It does absolutely nothing. Gentlemen.
Right. But if AJ beats Cena,
then got something.
Here we go. So I think the best thing to do is for Cena, because what Cena is failing to understand is, dude, you've made your name already. So whether you win or lose, the little kids gonna still like you, the women gonna still like you, and you're universally and nationally known. So he in movies and everything. So
Cena, you talking about?
Yeah, Cena. So
he's scared. Him and his fans are scared.
What is he scared of? Just like Hulk Hogan.
His fans are scared. His fans are the most scared.
His fans are the most insecure people. His fans are the most insecure people around the world because, and the WWE knows this, which is why they have him win so many times, because they know, hey, what happened when he lost to Kevin Owens? 100% clean. He lost to Kevin Owens. Seeing his merch sales dropped a little bit. Kevin Owens went up. Why do you think Kevin Owens lost 2 fucking times?
They're scared people are going to forget about it.
Like a little bitch.
They're scared people are going to forget about it.
I don't.
They're going to forget about it like in 2 years from now. They might as well, make his retirement party, right?
Can I say something, fellas?
Let Jay talk.
All right, just a few seconds. I just want the floor for a few seconds. I want to say that if Cena starts losing and starts, kind of putting people over or whatever, just like Frank and Henry and James, you're saying, he's scared people are going to forget about him. Now, my thing is, you've had countless guys who've been like the face of the company who people still remember, whose names are synonymous with the term wrestling, pro wrestling. People think of Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, all these guys or whatever. So my thing is, Cena's been on top for so long. So why would he even think that his name would just go under and people will forget about him?
Right. If you were so good and so popular, why
Thing is
would
being
people
dragged.
I smell a fraud. I smell a fraud. I just think that anybody who's that insecure just knows that, you know what I'm saying, his shit stinks.
Because you know why, Jay? You know why, Jay? You know why? Because half of you got my back and half of you don't want me back. 50%, 50-50. He knows only 50% of the people want him.
And to
He admitted it.
And to end this segment, talking about that selfish cocksucker, if John Cena was such a great and I don't care who gets angry, you can get butthurt all you want.
Real recognizes real. What the fuck
and
did he say?
Guys, anyone that's on here,
who recognizes real? That's what he said last night.
And if you don't like what I have to say on the matter, too fucking bad. And I'm going to end it with this. If John Cena was such a great fucking top guy, they wouldn't have to go out of the way to fucking protect him, period.
Exactly.
Now, let's move on to something more important, the Money in the Bank ladder match. I really enjoyed this match. I enjoyed the Money in the Bank ladder match. It seems like they always seem to deliver. Did anyone, Kevin Owens took a really nasty bump with that power slam on the ladder. Jesus, fuck.
He's been doing that for a while. Even before WWE.
No, I know that. I'm just saying. It's like the Mick Foley telling a cell phone. No matter how many times I fucking see it, I still cringe.
Well, listen, all I got to say about them is those guys have been carrying the show for the last month.
So Frank.
I agree.
First we'll go to Frank, then we'll go to Jay, then we'll go to Henry. Frank, what did you think of the Money in the Bank ladder match?
I said those 6 guys have been carrying the show, the company, for the last month. And with the promos, they've been entertaining, and that match was going to be good, and it was good. It was entertaining. I thought it was going to be I thought Kevin Owens was going to win because I know how they've been treating Ambrose. But, as we talked about earlier, something changed, and they went with Ambrose. So I thought Kevin Owens was going to hold the Money in the Bank. But I guess that's all. It was entertaining.
All right, Jay, you're next. What did you think of the Money in the Bank ladder match?
I also thought that Kevin Owens was going to win, but when they put it on Ambrose, I was happy as hell. Like I love the Ambrose. He's cool. I thought the match was superb. I thought it was. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were saying how we got damn near like the same type of match that we got at WrestleMania, with the ladder match or whatever. I thought it surpassed that match. You know what I'm saying? Because, the athletes, it was a different bunch, you know what I'm saying, in there. So I just think these guys kind of stole the show for me. You know what I'm saying? They did a hell of a job. So it was easily match of the night.
Before we get to Henry, Frank, I think I found my gimmick on this show. Every once in a while, my camera's going to go off, and I'm going to have a new wrestling shirt on.
He's got enough of them.
I think I found my gimmick. All right, Henry. Samoa Joe, baby. For the record, Samoa Joe, the greatest champion in the WWE right now.
Samoa Joe, the man, dog.
And about to go to the Raw roster pretty soon.
All right,
let me have my say. Let me have my say on this.
Good.
Look how fucked up. Look how fucked up we sound. Look how we're talking about. I want Kevin Owens to win. We forgot about Ambrose. Look how little we think about this company. And we were all waiting for Kevin Owens to get that briefcase. But then when Ambrose gets in, goes on top, and takes that briefcase, everybody's happy. It was a shock to us because we didn't think we didn't respect WWE for them to do something like that. Ambrose should have been champion like 2 years ago. It's like right now it's a little late, but you know what? He still has his pop. He still has his pop. So right now they should take advantage, and they did the right call. And like I didn't like it, but then I was still happy. Anybody but Roman. Seth Rollins comes in, pin him, I'm happy. Ambrose wins, holy shit! But you know what? I'm happy. And that's what it is.
Same thing with me. I'm fucking happy that Dean Ambrose finally grabbed the brass ring by the fucking balls. Because I've said this. You notice the difference when a babyface is holding the World Heavyweight title and he comes out and he gets that warm reception? That's how a babyface is supposed to be received. I'm going to call a few people out. Nick Durst, you know I love you, Nick. Fellow Mets fan. Thomas James, you're an awesome dude. Good comic shit. Let me explain something to you, gentlemen. I understand you like Cena. Good for you. More power to you. A babyface is supposed to be universally loved. And they hate that term universally loved because it doesn't apply to their hero. Hulk Hogan was universally loved. The Macho Man Randy Savage was universally loved ever since he turned face on Saturday night's main event when he saved Jake the Snake Roberts, when he saved Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth from Jake the Snake. The Undertaker is universally loved. Do I have to continue? Stone Cold Steve Austin. No one was chanting, "Thank you, Vince," when Vince McMahon fired Stone Cold at Judgment Day 98. Nobody was chanting, "Thank you, Triple H," when he cracked a rock in the head with a sledgehammer. No. There is a right and there is a wrong reaction.
Okay, James, what I was saying before, how strange was that to see last night, the opening of Raw? Having people cheer, hold up signs.
I thought I was back in 98.
Actually,
I'm like, what is this? This is a babyface who's over, and he's got the belt. I couldn't believe it.
How painful is it when Cena or Reigns comes out there and everybody starts booing?
It's very painful. It's painful for me because I know they're babyfaces. It's retarded, and it's completely ass backwards.
Let's go, Cena.
Remember I told you, guys, remember I told you on the group you can't have two Cenas on the show?
You have said that many times, Henry.
It was going to hurt, and it fucking hurt, didn't it?
No, well, they're going to split them up. We'll talk about that in the draft. They're going to split them up. They're not going to put them on the same brand.
Yeah. Unless Roman go heel. That's it.
Roman has to go heel.
Well, now they got Dean Ambrose. Now they got Dean Ambrose as a top face, so they could put him on Raw with Reigns, and they could put Cena on SmackDown.
Oh, hell no. No.
Oh, Cena's going to SmackDown.
Cena on Monday Night Raw and bring Roman Reigns to SmackDown as heel so it'll be tolerable for the viewers to watch. Separate the audience. Give the kids Monday Night Raw and give the adults SmackDown.
I agree with Henry. That's how I would do it. You want prove a
point. You've seen it on Raw somewhere.
Exactly. If Raw's like Frank, Raw's the main show and Cena's the main guy, keep them there. Put all the fucking great wrestlers on SmackDown, give them their own title, and let's see who fares better in the ratings. Let me tell you something right now. Ain't nobody gonna fucking pay to see John Cena versus let's see, Schmuck 1. Let's say Baron Corbin. I like Baron Corbin. They build him up as a monster. They put him against Cena. Ain't no one gonna fucking pay to see that. But I'll tell you this: you tell people that you're gonna have fucking Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose, people are gonna pay to see that.
Shit, AJ against Seth.
If a certain somebody like this guy gets called up,
he will
fucking pay to see him. Yeah,
he's gonna get called.
So now let's talk about the draft, guys. We got to talk about this draft. Let's go. We're gonna go around and give our opinions on it. First, myself, then Frank, then Jay, then Henry. I think it's a good thing, and the reason I think it's a good thing is for the simple fact that if the rosters are split, it's a win-win for me. Number one, you're not cannibalizing your roster. Number one. Number two, you will not see the same people twice a week. You will only see those people once a week. And the only time you'll see them twice is when there's a pay-per-view, which that's tolerable. Number two. Number three, the guys that wouldn't get pushed because of certain people in the way will now, there's no excuse for them to not get that push. Now, my friend Larry, who couldn't join us tonight, Larry, you're a great friend of mine. He came up with a great idea that I'd like to present. Okay, the World Heavyweight Champion should travel to both brands. Now, the reason for that is this. You put one mid-card title on Raw, one on SmackDown. Whoever is holding that title has a right to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion. So now, everybody is after those mid-card titles. So when the champion does come around, they have a reason to get at him. Now you're accomplishing two things. You're creating matchups that you wouldn't have had before. You're also restoring credibility to the titles because at all times, they are treated like they're important. Like, for example, let's say for the sake of argument, Bray Wyatt's the Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown. And on Raw, again, just for the sake of argument, Cesaro's the United States Heavyweight Champion. On the next pay-per-view, if they manage to get past their challengers, they face each other. Whoever wins at the next pay-per-view is guaranteed a shot at the champion.
Who is the Intercontinental Champion?
You're restoring credibility to the belts. Not just
Who?
Miz.
I'm sorry?
I said who was the Intercontinental Champion? I forgot.
Frankie,
Right now, it's
James
the
is making a good
Miz.
point. Man, why are you interrupting? Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, Frankie.
All right, so to continue what I was saying, that's what you're doing. The idea that my friend Larry put forth, the titles are being treated like they matter, they're constantly being showcased, and the importance of holding the titles are restored. Because let's be honest, like Jay said, like Henry admitted, what did I say was going to happen to the U.S. title the second that Mr. Make-A-Wish dropped it? It was going to go right back to mediocrity.
Yep.
And that's exactly what fucking happened. So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I know I come off as arrogant. I know I come off as a prick. Don't doubt me. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I told you people. The second that U.S. title comes off of Mr. Make-A-Wish, it goes back to where it was, where he found it. And the proof is in the pudding. Where was it the last couple of months before Rusev got it? It was in the pre-show. Was it in the pre-show the year before when Mr. Human
It turned to a joke.
winning it? No! Well, why was it not featured the same way? Why was Kalisto, who's a fucking incredible athlete, not given the opportunity? So, I think the draft overall, I went completely off topic. I apologize. I think the draft is a good thing because it's limiting where you're going to see the wrestlers, number one. Number two, they're not working as many days. You know, whoever's working Raw is not going to be working SmackDown, which is good because I think we can agree that with all these injuries that have piled up, the schedule's too fucking much because we don't want these guys getting hurt. Regardless of who we love or hate, much as I hate Cena, I don't want to see him break his neck or get hurt. I just want him to retire. Get out of my fucking face. Get off my fucking TV. It also gives the guys a chance to make their own stake. Because on SmackDown, if you remember back in the day, when he was cool, Cena was the fucking be-all, end-all on SmackDown. He was incredible. He was awesome. Batista, when he was on Raw, feuding with Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. Holy shit, fucking Batista was awesome. I mean, Undertaker, if you guys remember, became the legend of SmackDown. There wasn't that many legends on the roster. On Raw, you had Shawn Michaels, and on SmackDown, you had The Undertaker.
Carry that.
You didn't have all these older guys taking up spots.
It'll create new feuds.
It will. Now, Frank, what do you have to say about the draft?
First of all, they're not doing it for the fans. The rumors are that USA isn't happy with the ratings for SmackDown, and Raw's ratings keep sinking. So it's just for ratings, but I think it'll help. But we'll see. Go ahead, Henry.
No, go Jay. Jay goes before me.
Well, when I first heard about this split, I didn't really like it when I first heard about it. I was actually pissed about it because I think it's a coward's way out, especially with the writers. They're not being – it's not giving them a challenge. It's not challenging them to write a better product. Um, so since they are doing the brand split and doing the draft, uh, for a while now, I'm thinking that it's pretty cool now that they're doing it, but I think they should keep it completely separate. I disagree with James. I don't think they should. They should just have one world champion. I think they should have two, and I think they should separate it. They should have two unique rosters, and they should have their own champion. Just like back in the day, you had a world heavyweight champion and you had a WWE champion. But like you said, most of those guys that were making big names for themselves on that particular brand, it was just for that brand. So I would love to see.
But Jake,
Just,
the reason why they can't have a complete separate unique brand is because then the pay-per-views. What do you do with the pay-per-views? Do you have two pay-per-views for one for each brand?
Two pay-per-views.
did you hear what they said they was gonna try to do? Well, they said I don't agree with this though. They said they were going to try to do two separate pay-per-views a month, SmackDown and Raw. And you remember back in the day, back in the early 2000s, they had Raw had their own month and SmackDown had their own month.
That's how they should do it. That's how
So-
they should do it. They're going to have two separate champions, and they're going to be completely separate brands. Now, let's say they go with what Jay's suggesting, which honestly I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but that was every other month. They're talking about.
That's what Jay's suggesting that
Yeah,
they,
but that they want to do two a month.
which is retarded because it'll never work. No, especially for those that don't have the network. How the fuck are they? You're expecting people to pay $59.99 twice a month, so you're cannibalizing your pay-per-view audience, whatever you do have left. And for people that don't have the network, because there are people that don't, they're not going to be able to see anything. So, if they go with Jay's suggestion, and it's split down the middle, both brands are completely separate. The only two requirements I would have, and I think Jay will agree with me on this, because we're pretty much on the same level with this thinking. If they're going to go completely separate, they need to have one alternate each month. Like one month is Raw, another month is SmackDown, and the only exceptions are the big four. That's number one. Number two, if you're going to do this, both world titles on both shows have to be treated as if they are equals. In other words,
Exactly.
if
Exactly.
there's going to be two world titles, I don't want to fucking see the SmackDown title opening WrestleMania or SummerSlam or the Royal Rumble. I don't want to fucking see that because you're sending the message that that belt don't mean as much.
Shit, yeah.
Because let me tell you all something. When Paul Heyman was running fucking SmackDown, it took, and you know what it did to Raw? Pulled down its pants and took a shit on Raw because fucking SmackDown was better. In 2003, all the fucking way up to 2008, SmackDown was the better show.
Let me ask you this: what do you do about free agents, NXT call-ups? Who gets them?
Well, that also depends. It depends on what show needs them.
Let me add my 2 cents. Let me add my 2 cents.
Personally, I'd keep all NXT call-ups as far away from John Cena as possible for their own, for the health of their fucking careers. But before we answer that question, Jay, were you finished with your thought?
No, I wasn't. But I mean, let here we get in, and then we'll just roundtable it. Let here we talk.
All right. So Henry, go
This
ahead.
is-
What do you think of the draft?
Everybody keeps telling me, it's like, Henry, look, it's going to fuck up the whole system. 2 pay-per-views is going to suck. And I have to remind you guys that you know who's controlling Raw? Vince McMahon. I can't stand Vince McMahon. If Raw and SmackDown means a brand split, stating that Vince McMahon takes Raw and Shane takes control of creativity on SmackDown, then I'm for it. Because when Vince McMahon is on the creative team, we see how bad Raw is, right?
Oh,
So
it's unbearable. It's
let
not-
Raw die with Cena, and if Vince does not want Roman to turn heel, then let Raw die with both Cena and Roman, and let SmackDown prosper, so the guys from NXT can have a future. You can't put them on Raw with those two guys.
What happens?
But that's only if Vince decides to go with Raw and he won't meddle in on SmackDown. He's like, hey Shane, that's yours.
Oh, okay. What happens?
I'm fine. You know what? Then I will dump Raw. I want nothing to do with Raw.
Okay,
then there'll be 2 pay-per-views. I'll focus on SmackDown's pay-per-view.
Okay, Henry, what happens?
Kick Raw's ass.
Frank,
that's the only way I'll accept it. That's it. Okay, go ahead, guys.
What happens if one show starts getting dominating and the other show starts losing a lot of ratings? What happens then?
That's Vince's problem.
Yeah, that's. And Frank, I don't know if you heard me. That's what I was saying. I was saying that that's why I didn't like the brand split idea, because there's no creativity about to go on. It's just, you know what I'm saying, okay, it'll be easier for us to do 2 different shows because we got all this talent, so it'll be easier for us to do this instead of being competitive with our writing and, you know what I'm saying, like kind of giving the fans something to really cheer about or throw them a swerve here and there. It's going to be real easy to do a brand split because you got so many, you know what I'm saying, wrestlers or whatever. So now you do cause the risk of SmackDown being better than Raw or Raw being better than SmackDown. So there you go.
That's the only way Vince McMahon's going to listen. If one of his shows ratings go down because of him, he has to step down. He has to let his son go in and help him out. That's the only way that's the only way he'll ever listen to anybody. We're talking about Vince McMahon here, bro. We're not talking about, like, you know, Dixie Carter. We're talking about Vince McMahon. He's arrogant. He thinks he's God. Nothing he touches could do wrong. That's a narcissist, right? That's the way the man thinks. You have to take him out. You have to make sure SmackDown prevails. Raw sucks. Then you get to, hey, old man, we love you. You did a lot of good stuff in the past, but now it's time for you to move on. You got to move on.
But you know what?
Let me step in, or Triple H steps in and, like, all right, let me carry this show, and I'll turn to NXT. Then you'll have both good ratings, both shows. That's how it prevails. The way it's set up right now, look at what happened. These last 2 weeks with Monday Night Raw, they were good. But before that, it was trash. It was horrible. You know why? Because Vince McMahon is meddling in. Like, oh, I want to put my 2 cents in. But every time you put your 2 cents in, it's fucking garbage.
I think it's because they always.
If it's the only way to force him out, go for it. That's
Frank,
why I need the brand split to be in 2.
I think it's because they always keep pushing the wrong guy, and that's what it is.
Vince McMahon, he makes the last calls.
Yeah.
Well, we just covered the draft. We covered Money in the Bank. Now we got to cover the elephant in the room. Roman Reigns has been suspended due to a wellness violation. I personally think this does him no favors, much like WWE's booking of him since he started this singles push in 2015. It's not going to do him any favors. The viewers are not behind him. That is evident. And anyone who denies it at this point is only kidding themselves. And to piggyback on this, I saw the discussion on the page earlier on. Is it disrespectful that the fans are chanting, "You can't wrestle at him," when it's pretty clear he can? He's not a bad wrestler.
The fans can chant anything they want. The fans can chant anything they want. They're paying money. They can chant anything they want.
But the damage is done.
What damage is done?
2 very good points were just made.
Right, just regular heckling. I mean, I think it's kind of obnoxious too, but I mean, it's their right. I mean, it's just regular heckling, just like you would get at a basketball game or whatever. Yeah, I talk jokes about LeBron and say
what kind of garbage is that? Do you remember WCW? People used to throw garbage into the ring. In ECW,
them good old nothing days.
Come on, everybody gets too butthurt. Come on.
No, I agree with Frank in the aspect that some people they can't handle shit. That's why we can't have nice things, guys. Because now, if I'm a promoter and I see the amount of heat this guy has on him, especially because I'm a fan of Reigns. I've been a fan of his since he was down in FCW as Leaki. him, Ambrose, and Rollins. I like all three guys. I am of the belief that all three guys made the Shield work. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just two. It was all three. All three of them made that group work. I think we could agree on that at the very least. But Reigns is not connecting with the audience. Seth Rollins isn't supposed to connect with the audience because he's a villain. But the fans did. And what boggles my ever-loving fucking mind, you put out these fucking build-up videos of him getting through surgery and wanting to be at WrestleMania. You do realize that it only makes people want to see him win more. There's a lot more likable qualities about Seth Rollins thanks to these packages and stuff than there is to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns' story has a very empty story. It's apparent this guy was picked to be the golden boy, and that's why people resent him. Now, to anyone who doesn't understand, because I've said this on the show dozens of times, and I'm going to keep saying it till people get it. To anyone who doesn't understand why Reigns is getting the heat he's getting, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom. Reigns is getting the heat he's getting because of the last decade plus of Mr. Make-A-Wish being shoved down their throats and up their asses. The fans don't want to be told who the fuck to like. It is that simple. Nobody told the fans to cheer for Stone Cold Steve Austin. They did it on their own. Nobody told the fans to boo Rocky Maivia. Did it on their own. And he ended up transforming into The Rock, which everyone here knows who The Rock is. He's the biggest box office draw in history. Nobody told anyone to cheer for Hulk Hogan in the AWA, and that's a big misconception. Hulk Hogan became Hulk Hogan and became Hulkamania in the AWA. The fans organically just got behind the guy.
Just turn the fucking guy heel. That's it.
So
not even heel. No, guys, come on.
He is a heel. He is a heel already.
We gotta be fair. We gotta be fair. Look, guys, listen. He got suspended because of what? What did he do?
Who knows? Probably Flintstone.
Apparently it was PED.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Flintstone vitamins.
You gotta punish the guy. You gotta put him in the shelf.
Because they did. Yeah.
He probably been told not to do this. All right. So if he's gonna go against his high commanders or whatever you call them, the high superiors or whatever you want to say, right? Then he's not gonna listen. You gotta put him on the shelf and you gotta move forward and just make Seth Rollins and Ambrose the big picture of this year. Roman Reigns, you gotta put him away. 30-day suspension, that makes the company look bad, and that doesn't make him look good with the Make-A-Wish Foundation or any activity he does for children.
I think they'll put
him away. Put him away for the meantime until this thing's dust off, and then
it'll die down.
I don't know what you can do with him. But for the meantime, just put him away. You can't put him in the spotlight. It's too much beef. It's too much beef.
Yeah, it'll die down. It'll die down. People forget, but I think he's already a heel. Look, so Sunday he was wrestling as a heel. You don't think he was wrestling as a heel Sunday?
Oh, he absolutely was. And on Monday he acted like one. But the problem is, Frank,
they're not promoting him as a heel.
They're not promoting him as if he is the bad guy, and I think that's the only thing missing from his character. It's obvious. It's obvious that the crowd isn't behind him, and it's obvious, based on what I saw on Monday, he's starting to get pissed off. And you want to know something? I believe a great man by the name of Stone Cold Steve Austin once said, at some point in time, a man's got to get pissed off. And I think now is about the time for Roman Reigns to get pissed off. He got suspended because he got nipped in the ass with the fucking drug violation. The fans aren't behind him, and now they're going to use this as an excuse to hate him even more. So you capitalize on that heat.
They start chanting.
It's fucking obvious to me.
Imagine they start chanting steroids when he comes out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it may be happening.
You see Frank's
face? It's going to make Vince look bad. That's going to make Vince look bad. They got to put him away.
What? No, really. These are the questions.
They got to put him away.
Jesus Christ. Frank's not wrong. Oh, God, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, these are big things. That's why they got to, first of all, make him disappear. Now I think he's definitely not going to win the triple threat match.
He's not. It's because WWE can't handle a scandal.
I think they should take him out of that match. I really do. I think they should take him out of that match have him come back like the next night on Raw, attack Dean.
Like I said, he needs
Just
to come
that.
out. He needs to come out, destroy Rollins, destroy Ambrose, promote him as a fucking heel. And you know what he should come around and say if anyone chants steroids? You know when he gets on the microphone and says, "Yeah, and what are you gonna do about it?" Even more heel heat. He's basically giving the fuck you to the audience, saying, "I'm gonna do whatever I want, and I'm gonna beat up the guys you like just to spite you idiots." It's so.
But WWE doesn't want that, James.
Yeah, they're not
It's
going to
bad
mention
for
it. They're not even going to acknowledge it anymore.
Bad for the way. This is my years of experience watching WWE. When a scandal like that happens, they're gonna put him away. They're gonna put him away for like 6 months, or maybe less, 3 months. But they're gonna put him away until this dusts off, and that's it. Right now, you can't put him out there after 30 days. Because oh my God, look, the news, Roman Reigns, top guy, steroids, and then the whole package comes back on the media saying, "Look, see, WWE at it again with the steroid conversation, right? The steroid controversy, or whatever you want to call it."
Okay,
they want to avoid that. They gotta make it disappear.
All right, we'll close it out with this. We'll close it out with this. First of all, next Monday they should come out and say, well, maybe Thursday's already live, taped. Next Monday they'll probably come out and say, come out with a bullshit story saying he took some medication, whatever, blah blah blah, and people will forget about it. No, yeah, that's what they're gonna say. That he took some medication. He didn't know he didn't know he accidentally took something he wasn't supposed to take, like everybody always does, and people are gonna forget about it. These days, 30 days is like 6 months anyway. People forget about it, but yeah.
That's bad coverage. WWE doesn't want that.
Yeah, but if you notice, they never announced today what he got suspended for. They just announced that he got suspended for violation. Hey, he could have got suspended for smoking weed. Who knows?
And that's even worse. If he smokes weed, you know, in the locker room, they don't tolerate that shit. Nobody wants to go inside practice drugged out. Remember what Sting did? Remember Sting Jeff Hardy? Sting did not like that shit. Because look, that endangers a wrestler. Does it not?
Listen, it could be anything. It could be anything. But it'll get swept under the rug.
It's just bad. They gotta put him away. They gotta put him away for the meantime, and they take him out again, but at a later time. Just leave him alone. Just focus on Seth Rollins and Ambrose. And
I personally feel terrible for Roman Reigns with all the shit that he's gone through. Ever since he came back from his hernia surgery in 2014, this guy's been on a downward fucking spiral. Regardless of how many championships he's won, in terms of connecting with the audience and actually being an effective character, he's been on a downward spiral, guys. He hasn't gotten over with the crowd. He has been getting booed relentlessly, and now it's getting worse. Yeah. And now this is on top of it.
Well,
and
we'll see what happens.
What Frank says, these people, especially the people that really can't stand him, they're not going to let that go. And I say the only solution to this, whenever he comes back, whether it's in a month, 2 months, 3, whatever the fuck it is, this guy's got to come back a heel. It's that simple.
All right. Well, we've said that enough.
It's obvious he isn't connecting. They've done everything that they could, and at every turn, they have failed. At some point in time, you got to look yourself in the mirror and recognize, hey, this shit ain't fucking working. You know, if not for anything, for his career's sake, because Joe Hawaii deserves to have a good career. He's a good athlete for a man his size. He does things that a lot of guys his size shouldn't be able to do. And not for nothing, if you ever see him cut a heel promo, he's not fucking bad. It's when he comes out there cutting these babyface promos that nobody wants to fucking hear.
Well, listen, we'll beat a dead horse. We'll beat a dead horse. We'll beat a dead horse. So, anyway, let's just end the show now.
Well, gentlemen.
Whoa! Sasha Banks.
Ken, you talk about Sasha Banks. Go ahead. What about Sasha Banks?
Henry, what do you got to say about Sasha?
Return. What does that mean for the women's division? What does that mean for the women's title?
At SummerSlam.
Where's it going to go now?
Bayley is going to debut the night after.
It doesn't mean
anything. Maybe she debuts on SummerSlam. We don't know.
Who's the hottest diva, Henry?
Sasha Banks. And look, Nick Durst, I had an argument with him. He was saying that WWE has been catering to women's division on Raw so good, better than NXT. I'm like, bro, are you on crack? Are you on crack? So how could you say something like that?
It's
the
still
women's division has been trashed. It has been trashed.
They don't give them respect. They don't give them respect.
Charlotte has been trashed. Look, it's not Charlotte's fault too. Like, what the fuck? It's like, her title should be defended in all pay-per-views. She should never be in a tag team match. What the fuck is that?
Just like
it's a disgrace.
Just like the New Day, they defended 7 times this year. All right, that's it. I gotta go.
All right, gentlemen, for myself, for Frank, for Jay, and for Henry, I have to say I had fun tonight, guys.
Yes.
I'm looking to do something for the next NXT special. You guys are welcome here. You don't need an invite. You're welcome. The next pay-per-view coming up is Battleground. Frank and I will try to cover that the night after, probably after Raw, because like Frank has this thing, don't do a show after the pay-per-view. Wait for Raw to pass.
Yeah, well, look at all the things that happened, right? Was I not right?
Yes, Frank was right, and I was wrong. I have no shame in admitting when I'm wrong when I am.
I just felt something.
He doesn't want spoilers.
No, I'm saying.
No, what Frank is trying to say is that with the night after a pay-per-view, a lot of shit can happen. A lot of shit can happen to negate what happened, so you gotta make sure you see it. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for us. We're done for the night. Hope everybody enjoys their weekend coming up. Stay safe and take care, guys.
Take care.